We will verify the geometrical pattern as a design tool, where the exact measures in the lengths of the whole construction are multiples of 14 Egyptian cubits. We know that the geometrical pattern is based on two rectangles whose length is 14, the beta rectangle with 11 and the alpha rectangle with 8.66. Therefore, if the lengths of the studied constructions are multiple of 14 Egyptian cubits, their proportions would be the answer to have systematically applied the geometrical pattern. It is impressive to check that the most ancient architecture analyzed in this research, the tomb of Horeha, the second pharaoh during the first dynasty, has exactly 14 cubits in length in his excavated area, and its strange width is 8.66 cubits as a result of having applied the alpha rectangle on its design. We also consider the outer face of the wall that delimits this tomb is 21 cubits in length. That is a multiple of exact fraction of 14, so that its characteristic width is 16.5 cubits as a result of having been used the beta rectangle of the geometrical pattern. In order to leave apart coincidences, we are going to continue analyzing the concrete measures in these pharaohs' constructions and be able to show that their lengths correspond with multiples of 14 cubits, so the fact that their proportions are the ones of alpha and beta rectangles is an evidence that the geometrical pattern was used as a design tool on the main proportions in the royal architecture of ancient Egypt. As we have seen in the previous chapters, the step pyramid of Neterhet, the first pharaoh of the third dynasty, is the projection of the geometrical pattern from the horizontal plane to the vertical one. We also have seen that the inclination on its west and east sides responds to the diagonal of the beta rectangle. Therefore, its west-east base should be multiple of 11, and well done! The base of the step pyramid of Neterhet, with measures about 121 meters, are equivalent to 231 cubits. A cubit is 52.3 centimeters, and they are the result of the 11-21 multiplication. We feel impressed because our study can be explained by the geometrical pattern, the levels of the pyramid of Neterhet. The first level means the land of Egypt towards the last level, the one that is golden because of the solar disk and reflects the celestial vault. The pyramid has 7 steps, the half of 14. Continuing our search for concrete evidence that shows the geometrical pattern was a design tool, we should study the likely most famous construction of ancient Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Cheops, the pharaoh Khufu. Its measures have been accepted as 230.3 meter base and 146.6 meter height, equivalent exactly to 440 cubits of base and 280 cubits of height. It means a beta rectangle whose scale is 1/20. After the Timid times and the ancient kingdom, one of the most notorious constructions in the Middle Kingdom was the White Chapel of Karnak, built by Senusret I. As we have seen in the first chapter, this construction corresponds to the proportions of beta prime rectangle, and analyzing its exact measures, we realize its length is multiple of 14, so that its width is multiple of 5.5. All this allows us to confirm that the geometrical pattern was used once again as a real architectural tool in order to fix proportions. We can also observe that some of the great constructions of the New Kingdom, such as the Osirion of Abydos, probably built by Seti I, has an indoor structure that is surrounded by water and that responds to the proportions of the alpha rectangle with 56 cubits of length, which makes us think that the geometrical pattern was used in its design. 2 centuries later, Thutmose III built his temple in Abydos, totally based on the proportions of alpha rectangle. Its perimeter wall is 56 cubits in length, and its indoor structure is 28 cubits in length. It is an evidence that the geometrical pattern was a design tool used by ancient Egyptians to verify their proportions. Now, it is time for us to enter the tomb of Tutankhamen. Thanks to the architectural study in all the tombs of the Valley of the Kings, we can analyze that every chamber has lengths which are multiples of exact fractions of 14. They seem more sophisticated designs, but they respond really to mathematical operations based on very simple arithmetic exercises. we might continue speaking and studying the rest of the royal constructions on which we should check their exact measures. Anyway, this explanation shows clearly that the first proof to verify the geometrical pattern was a design instrument, and that was used by the ancient Egyptians to define the main proportions of their royal architecture.